Hi everyone. So shy. I'm gonna be solving all your kitchen problems as much as I can and as far as I know how. So please do subscribe. Savo asked me which part of Venda I come from and how did I end up in Cape Town. Okay. Hi everyone. So shy. Okay, let's be serious now. Hey everyone, my name is Culinary and I am saved and I love the Lord. Amen. So that's how we introduce ourselves at church. But my name is Culinary Mukwena. I am a chef, a food content creator, a recipe developer, a food writer, and a food stylist. And I am also the lady behind the brand Meals with Mesh. And welcome to my channel. Please do subscribe, like, and set the notification bell. Is that what they say? Okay, yeah, do that. So basically what we're going to be doing in this channel, and when I say we, I mean you and I'm going to be solving all your kitchen problems as much as I can and as far as I know how. So please do subscribe because you're definitely going to be learning so much. So a few weeks ago, I asked you guys what you would want to know about me if you had 30 minutes with me. And it was for the purpose of this video. I want you guys to get to know me better. And I think this is the best way to do it. So you guys did respond. You asked me quite a lot of questions. I didn't expect the amount of questions that I'd get, but I will try to answer them as much as I can. So let's get to it. A lot of you guys were asking me what my name is and why the name Mesh. So my name is Culinary Mukwena. My name is not Mesh. Mesh is my mother. So how I started cooking in 2013, my mom was hospitalized for 4 months. And I am the only girl child at home. So when she was in hospital for 4 months, I then had to step in the kitchen and cook for my dad and my brother. And that's where the passion came from. My cooking is not something I did from a very young age. It's not something I loved from a young age. It just came as a result of the situation we were in then. And then, yeah, I learned how to cook. I loved it, loved being creative in the kitchen. And years later, I told myself that should I ever start a business that is food related, I will name it after my mother because that is where my passion came from. My dad is also Mesh, so it's Mesh and Mesh. Let's just say I named my business after both my parents. Yeah, don't want any problems or any trouble. Where did you study? So I think, I don't know if this is for culinary, but I have 2 finance degrees that I studied at Nelson Mandela University. And then after doing my honors, that's when I decided to go to culinary school at Capsicum Culinary Studio. So those are the institutions that I studied at. Teho asked me, are you married? Lowell's asking for my parents. A lot of people also asked if I'm married. I'm not married, but don't give your uncle any feedback. It will be of no use to him, I'm telling you right now. So yeah, and also I don't have any kids, for those that ask me if I have any kids. I'm not married, I don't have kids. Most of the questions were to ask about my journey. So I went to varsity in, should I even disclose? I don't know. Yeah, but I went to varsity, studied finance at NMU, undergrad and postgrad. And then I decided I am going to go to culinary school after that. And with regards to my journey on Meals with Mesh, I started the page in 2019. It was not that I wanted to. My cousin forced me and then opened the page for me. Then I started sharing the content and the page started growing. And I think it's been a beautiful journey that requires its own story time because, yeah, it's quite long. But I think, yeah, one day I will definitely just tell you guys about it. But that's basically it. It's from finance to food, basically. Sobo asked me which part of Venda I come from and how did I end up in Cape Town. So I'm from Venda in Pendo. And how I ended up in Cape Town, I was living in PE during COVID. Then one day I just woke up and decided I want to go live in Cape Town. I didn't know what I was going to do in Cape Town. I was studying online then. So I was like, why not move to Cape Town and still study while I'm there? And that's how I moved to Cape Town. And the rest is history. I also got a lot of questions of people asking if I've always wanted to be a chef. From a young age, no, I didn't want to be a chef. It was only after I found my passion in 2013. That's when I fell in love with cooking, and I was like, you know what, when I pass my matric, I want to go to culinary school. But my dad was not having it. My dad was like, I want to be an accountant, and he was very strict with it. He even drove me to the university to make sure that I am there and I'm doing what we agreed on. So yeah, I only later decided to go to culinary school after giving my parents their qualifications. I was also asked what my favorite meal is. A lot of you guys asked me this question. My favorite meal is anything with lamb. I love lamb. I love lamb, especially the rib chops. Those are my favorite. I could eat them every single day if I could. So that's my favorite meal. Lamb chops, lamb stew, lamb curry, anything with lamb is my absolute favorite. What else do I like? I can't even think because I eat a lot of lamb. That's just how much I love it. So yeah, lamb it is. A fun fact about you. Do not judge me, ne? I'm gonna tell you, but don't judge me. I'm very lazy to cook for myself. That's one fact about me. I love cooking for people. I love cooking for content, but I don't like. I'm lazy to cook for myself, hence why I eat a lot of takeaways. So that's one fact about me. It's very funny because I'm a chef. I should be doing all the cooking for myself and spoiling myself with all these dishes, but I cook for myself once in a while when it doesn't feel like work and when I'm really in the mood to spoil myself to a good dish. So yeah, the one thing that I do make though is breakfast. I love my breakfast and I love making it myself, so that's the one thing I won't. But on a normal day, I'm very lazy to cook. A favorite recipe passed down by your family? Do I have any recipe passed down by my family? Maybe scones. Yeah, I think scones. Sure, my mom would make a lot of scones and she taught me how to make scones, so definitely that. Buttermilk scones. What inspired you to be a chef and how did you do it, Mama? I think what inspired me to be a chef was my love for learning more and also wanting to invest more in my skill. Yeah, more than anything, that's why I wanted to go to culinary school. And the other thing was that I felt like I owed it to myself because it's something I wanted and couldn't get when I wanted to. But when I got the freedom to do it myself, I was like, I'm doing this and get it off my list. And how I did it was I just decided I'm going to culinary school, did my application at Capsicum Culinary, the Cape Town campus. And yeah, that's how I became a chef and I earned this chef's jacket. Nets asked me, what makes you happy? Guys, can I tell you something before I answer Net's question? Natalie said I must call my followers mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. So maybe when I talk to you guys, I'm going to say, hey, mashed potatoes. She's going to be so happy. But what makes me happy is cooking for people. Cooking for people really makes me happy, just to see how my food makes other people feel, how it brings people together, the stories I get to hear when I cook for people, or the stories we share when we are sharing a meal together. That really is just so fulfilling and it makes me so happy. These marriage questions. A lot of questions were asking me when I am releasing my cookbook. When am I releasing my cookbook? That's a very good question. Nizayitenga. If I release it, Nizayitenga. Will you buy it? I'm gonna release it. It might be sooner than you think, or it might be later, but I'm gonna release it. And when I do, you guys are definitely gonna be the first people to know. So just stay tuned. Wilma, guys. Wilma is my classmate from varsity. We went to NME together. She asked, hi Tilly, do you think your BCom degree is in any way helpful in your career now? It is absolutely very helpful. I mean, when you are running a business, there's always a financial aspect to it, and I think it really comes in handy to that. And I mean, also having studied something prior to what I did also helps me in the approach that I have for many other things that are related to the current business that I'm doing. Okay, what's your splurge meal? So my splurge meal is definitely a full Sunday plate with 3 different types of meat in it and many salads. That's my splurge meal. I love me a good plate with all my favorite comfort dishes in it. And if I'm not eating home, then my splurge meal would be a proper seafood platter, specifically at Beluga. Those are my splurge meals, yeah. Any advice to young upcoming chefs? I think just make sure that you love what you do and it will love you back. Don't just follow it because it's something that you think you can. Follow it because you love doing it, and invest more in it. Invest in your skills, sharpen it, continue learning about it, and I think everything will work out if you do that. Any advice for someone starting off as a food content creator? I think show up for your content and your audience. Put your best work out there. Network. Be authentic. Be consistent, and ask for help. Don't do it alone. Don't be a lone ranger. Ask for help and learn from what people in the same field are doing. What's your go-to meal? What is my go-to meal? Lamb chops with mash or lamb chops with broccoli. That is my go-to meal. On a lazy day, on a sad day, on a very happy day, that is my go-to meal. What's your favorite meal to make and why? Okay, I love making lamb again, and why I love making it is because I love lamb, and also because lamb is quick. I don't know if you guys know this, but lamb is very quick, and it also has a very distinct taste, and that's one thing that makes me love it more. It has a distinct taste, and it's just so quick and easy, and you can just get it over and done with. I mean, with lamb chops, you could cook them for 8 minutes and you're done. So yeah, definitely lamb chops. What are your top 3 spices in your kitchen? My top 3 spices are pepper, paprika, and 7 colors grilled seasoning. You can do anything in the kitchen with the 3 spices that I've just told you. So do yourself a favor and get some pepper, black peppercorns, paprika, and 7 colors grilled seasoning. Would you open a cooking school? It's not really something I've thought about. I don't know, maybe in the future, later in life, when I'm not so busy, I would. But right now, no. What is your favorite recipe? Well, I hope my favorite recipe, I'd like to think that my favorite recipe is different from my favorite meal, right? My favorite recipe to make would be oxtail. I think I love my oxtail recipe. And in as much as I do share my oxtail recipes with you guys, there's one that I feel like it's so close to my heart, and maybe one day I will share it with you guys, maybe in the book or here on YouTube, I don't know, but oxtail is my favorite recipe. Are Michelin rated restaurants worth it, or is it just a hype? If you are a food lover and you love nice food experiences, then they are definitely worth it. For me, I think they're worth it. The experiences, the flavors, and also just learning more about food make the whole restaurant experience very worth it. But if you're just someone who's going there for vibes, then you might think that it's overly hyped or overrated. So I think it's more of a preference thing more than anything. How do you manage criticism? I think I'm so blessed, guys. I hardly ever get criticism on my page. I have the most, honestly, I hardly ever get criticism. Most of you guys give me positive feedback. Even when you try recipes and they work out, you do give me feedback. I've never really received negative feedback. However, I think people do say things that I don't agree with simply because it's their preference and not mine. And I mean, we all like different things. So I've gotten to understand that everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and not everybody will relate and agree with what I am sharing out there, especially as far as recipes are concerned, because, hey, you guys, you will be so adamant that, no, this is how pap is cooked. This is how this and this is cooked. But this is also how it's cooked where I come from, or this is how I prefer to cook it, So that's the only negative thing I think I receive on my page. So blessed. Thank you, Jesus. Has cooking been something you loved doing from a young age, or a developed passion? It's definitely a developed passion. When I grew up, I was very not domesticated, if I can put it like that. I was never that girl that would cook or clean. Well, I would clean at some. I think I started cleaning when I was 14 or something. But yeah, I wasn't really a domesticated girl. So after the whole incident happened when my mom was in hospital, that's when I learned how to cook and fell in love with it. Oh, where do you buy your dresses and suits? All the dresses that I wear are from Forever New. If you see me wearing a dress on my Instagram, just know that it's from Forever New. I love their dresses, and I feel like they're just so good for me. And my suits, I think, are from Zara and Foschini. Yeah. First, you're gorgeous. Thank you. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do I keep myself motivated? I think I always remember, like, I think of the life I want. And whenever that thought just comes to my head, I wake up and show up and just keep going. There's a certain life I want for myself, and there's a certain life I've created which requires maintenance. So that alone keeps me motivated. And also just the thought of being a better version of myself every day motivates me to show up and do what I get to do. What gave you confidence when you started? I think I didn't really have enough confidence, but the more people gave me positive feedback, and this started from home. My brother and my dad would give me positive feedback after I cooked a meal, and that would boost my confidence so much, because it then showed me that I'm quite creative and I'm good at what I do. So that really made me more confident, to a point where when I came out there to share my content with you guys, I wasn't really doubting myself. But the more you guys also received the content well, then I then became more confident. Going to culinary school also was the biggest confidence booster, to be honest. And yeah, that's how it is. Sana, there's a bike making noise outside. Can you guys hear it? I want to taste your food so bad. How can I do it? You can book me, then I will come cook for you. So you make a booking, you make the payment, and I will show up for you. That's how you will get to taste my food. Alternatively, if you're around Cape Town and I so happen to cook a meal and you let me know that you're in Cape Town, maybe I can give you some leftovers or skaptinyana, But booking, payment, and I will show up. You take beautiful pictures and videos. Which phone do you use, and do you edit after? So to be very quite honest with you guys, for my content, I use the iPhone 15 Pro Max as well as the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I do edit sometimes, but my lighting is always good, so I hardly ever edit or add filters to my food. And yeah, that's basically what I do. I don't have like a specific other camera. It's just my phones, and I use whichever has a lot of battery when I'm about to shoot. Do you do catering? Yes, I do catering, private and corporate catering. If you have an event, you can book me. If you work at an institution or a company and you guys like catering for your meetings and you can definitely book me for that. I am a very compliant caterer, so do book me. So Tabang asked me, how do you keep building? You wear multiple hats. How do you juggle it all and still keep moving? Sure, I definitely do wear many hats, but I think the moment you get to understand that you're doing something that's bigger than you, then you will also have ways to juggle it all. I think managing my time well as planning everything well in advance makes it so easy, and having a good support system. The people around me are very supportive. My family, my friends are very supportive, and to some extent, it's so easy for me to delegate some tasks and then ask them to do some things while I focus on other things. And yeah, that's basically it. But it's really not easy. I won't lie. It's not easy. It's very hard. But yeah, just show up as much as I can and take it one day at a time and one step at a time. What has been the worst experience as a chef? My culinary school training was the worst experience ever. I would never do it again. No matter how much money I'm paid, I would never do it again. It was very traumatizing. It was depressing. It made me hate food. It was bad. It was so bad. So much so that I hated food. I hated doing what I actually loved doing for a certain period of time. I even had to go to therapy after the whole thing because it was so bad. So yeah, that has been my worst experience, and I wouldn't recommend it. If you are in culinary school or plan to go to culinary school, just know that you're gonna have to do your training, and it's not the easiest thing that you're gonna have to do. It's so hard, and if you're not passionate about it, about food, you're definitely gonna quit. You can ask anybody that's a qualified chef out there. How have you been able to monetize your cooking skills? So I've been able to monetize by collaborating with brands, my catering. I also do food photography, food styling, recipe development. That's how I've been able to monetize my cooking skill. Do you have any dream collaboration and brands that you hope to work with in the near future? To be honest, I think with this question, I need to go back to the drawing board because I have worked with the brands that I've always dreamed to work with, and I have good relationships with those brands. So I need to think of other brands that I dream to work with because so far those dreams have come true. Thank you, Jesus. Bondle asked me, how do you position yourself and your content to work and attract brands? I think you can easily position yourself by sticking to your niche. Not that you should box yourself, but know your niche and then put in your best work out there, proper quality content, engage with your audience, and the right brands will find you. Also, get the brand's attention by tagging them in your content, especially if you know there's a specific brand you want to work with. Get their attention, tag them. If you feel like they're not noticing you, then maybe reach out. So I think that's the easiest way I can answer this question. I would like to ask, how do you come up with these recipes? I think I'm very creative, number one. And I think with the background of going to culinary school, I understand flavors quite a lot. So I know what works with what, which then makes me want to mix certain ingredients and then come up with certain recipes because I know that this would definitely work out with this. Other than that, I eat a lot out and I always try to recreate the dishes that I eaten in restaurants. And besides that, I like how I come up with other recipes. I like recipes that we grew up with, food that we grew up eating, and then try to make them my own and modernize them or just give them a more easier and relatable touch and approach. So that's how my recipe development, or that's how I come up with my recipes. And my God. How much do you spend on groceries? To be honest, I don't know how much I spend in groceries. And I'm not lying. I don't know how much I spend on groceries, but I know it's a lot of money because I buy food almost every day and every week because I have to shoot. I have to cook for myself sometimes. And with shooting, I have to be shooting different things almost daily. So it's definitely a lot of money, but I don't have an exact figure, but it's a lot of money. Nothing shocks me like the price of food. every time I go to the shops, it shocks me all the time. So also to those that want to pursue content creation and being a chef, just know that you're going to need a lot of money for ingredients because it's so demanding and requires a lot of food. Would you choose food or finance? I would definitely choose food any day. I would choose food any day because it makes me sane, and I'd like to think that there's more you can do in food, which then makes food an alternative that gives you more money than finance. So yeah, food any day. And yeah, I think I've answered most of the questions because most of the questions are repetitive, and if you feel like there's still something that you want to know about me, you can still ask me. You can send me a DM, I'll answer you. Simply because I don't want this video to be too long, and most of the questions that I received are like repetitive. It's the same questions, just asked in a different way. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys got to know me a bit better, and I hope you do like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And also be on the lookout, because if you can recall, I also asked you guys if you guys have any challenges that you face in the kitchen, or if there are certain foods that you struggle to cook. I will be solving all those problems here on this channel. So if you know that you responded to that question box that I put up the other day, then your problem is definitely going to be solved. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next week, Sunday at 7 a.m. So yeah, see you guys next week. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.